Once again, we're live backstage, sold out 99X Mistletoe Jam in the AV room with the lead voice of the Shins, Mr. James Mercer. Thank you for being a part of our sold-out concert.
Thank you.
Thank you for help selling out this thing. And congratulations on everything with the latest album, Wincing the Night Away.
The Grannies. We got nominated for a Granny.
Really?
Yeah, not Grammys. Everyone thought it was the Grammys. It's really the Grammys.
But you are nominated for a Grammy.
Oh, that too.
Yes.
Great. Okay, cool. That'll
because
do.
I was going to say, lately, it's like, I don't know. There's so many award shows between Billboard and MTV, and boy, MTV is just suckety suck lately, those award shows. But, there's American Music Awards. But it seems like still the Grammys, even though it used to be like your parents' award show, seems to be the one that, like, wow, I'm being acknowledged in my field.
That being music, I guess, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I don't know. The thing, I guess, that I always wonder is, how much does it really reflect what we're doing? Because it all, to me also, it's kind of this really mainstream thing. So, I don't know. It's hard to exactly put a finger on what it really means. Like, should I be really excited? But of course I am.
What's the feedback?
when you see your parents freaking out, like,
Yeah. Look at this.
Like,
it's a 2008 Best Alternative Album nominee, Wincing the Night Away. And do you know who you're up against in this category? And the Grammys take place, obviously, in February.
Right, yeah.
Have you looked at the list?
Yeah. We're up against some really great bands.
Lily Allen.
Lily Allen.
Arcade Fire.
That's right.
Björk.
Yeah.
And White Stripes.
Björk, love him. He's great.
Björk, yeah. Everybody always said Björk for so many years, and then she says, my name's Björk.
Really?
It is Björk.
Oh, jeez.
It is Björk. Serge Tankian.
You're lucky we didn't get our asses kicked.
But, so we're pulling for the Shins. Although,
Me too.
They seem to like Jack White a lot at the Grammys.
Well, he's fantastic, so, yeah, that's some tough competition.
That's a one-man band, Jack White. You got Meg playing the drums, but I got to think that, like, creatively, honestly, not to put down Meg, but Jack's a one-man machine. But then again, James Mercer, the Shins album, one-man machine. This is really interesting. Well, I mean, you have a band, obviously, and Shins, that's the wrong thing to say, because you guys are a group. But I wanted to go in the direction of this question with the recording process of this one, which is really interesting because this album sounds really good technically.
Yeah.
And I've read that you said, I can finally afford good microphones and
Well,
stuff.
good mics, good equipment, but also good help. Good, like, co-produced the record with Joe Ciccarelli, who, one of the biggest things that he did was offer this vast knowledge of and engineering talent. So that engineering skill, man, he just...
Mic placement.
He's so good. Yeah, exactly. He's just got skills, and so that really is what made it sound, hi-fi, which has always been my goal. People talk to me all the time like, oh, I really love your first record because it's so lo-fi, and I love that whole thing. And I was like, man, I was struggling so hard to make it sound like Ocean Rain or something, like a really big record,
But it's interesting the way you wrote these songs, because I've also read that describe how some of the songs came to fruition, and you were putting chords together. I mean, paint the picture. You're in your basement of your house.
Sure. I mean, well, it's sort of the thing I do all the time. It's putting chords together and sort of humming while I do that, trying to come up with melodies, just the very beginnings of songs. It's really strange when you're done with a record and it's been those months of working on it, and you realize, like, at one time this was just a blank page, there was just absolutely nothing, and now there's this thing that has a lot of meaning, I guess, to me and to the band and to our future and the Grammys, whatever,
Right.
It's a weird process, the creative process. It's just strange.
Do you think that this latest Shins record, the reason why it's so personal is because you're in a comfortable environment, you're in your basement? And the weird thing also that I read was that, you're doing this a lot of times, your new baby, congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
And your wife, they're sleeping, so you're not trying to make too much noise down in the basement.
That seems to have been a theme, because my first record, I lived in these really kind of cheap apartments, and the walls were really thin, and so I was just conscious all the time of the fact that people could hear me, with my headphones on. They couldn't hear the music, but they could hear me trying to sing properly,
Right.
Which is just embarrassing. So I've always been in that situation, really.
Well, Rage Against the Machine probably can't make a record in a quiet environment like that.
No. Although I do have a friend who lived next door to somebody who was obviously really into Rage Against the Machine, or, any sort of, or like an industrial type thing.
Right.
And all he would hear is this really quiet sort of fumbling around, and then, just horrible screaming through the...
It's nice to have your own house and a little bit of space in between the neighbors.
Yeah, exactly.
So your musical taste is not, or their musical taste doesn't have to be your musical listening.
That's right.
One of the other things I heard about James Mercer, very protective of his guitar. Nobody ever carries your guitar case. That was an
Is that what I said?
That was an
Did I say that?
That was an observation from Matt C and Lewis, 99X. He said that he goes, you should ask him.
If that's why.
I picked this up, that he doesn't let anybody else touch his guitar.
Well, I think that really it's just that I want to help out. And I don't want to sort of be like, get it. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, then
I don't want anyone
You must
screwing
be the
it up.
type of guy then, too, if you're that humble of a person, to do you have a problem with autographs? Like, this is really weird. I'm signing my name for somebody.
Well, the funny thing is that might feel awkward for a while, but at the same time, if you're somebody who wants to be polite and stuff, then you also feel compelled to do what they're asking, you know, and to help them out, because it's a simple thing, you know.
Yeah. Picture's nice. Autograph's always still weird. Steve Martin hands out cards that says, this is a card that says you have met Steve Martin, because I think it's too weird to sign autographs.
That guy is so clever. That's cool.
We should go to Kinko's.
Yeah,
One more thing with James Mercer from the Shins before we let him go. Grill skills. I want to hear it.
Grill skills. Yeah, that's my new book coming out.
Yeah?
It's a cookbook. Grill skills. No, I know what you're talking about.
The tour bus on the video.
My cookbook's called All Up in Your Grill.
Really?
Yeah.
And you have a cookbook coming out.
Yeah. One day, Marty's gonna help me with it. But grill skills, is the old. It's a training footage from, I think, Wendy's that we found.
Right.
And it's awesome.
And you guys just in
Grill
between
skills.
cities when you're on the tour bus,
You
pop
can
in
watch
grill
this.
skills. Can you give us a little sampling of grill skills?
If that meat is turning gray, turn that meat into chili meat. That's one of the lines.
Wendy's, they're very green. When it goes gray, they go green and recycle that meat.
That's right. Into chili.
And that chili will knock you off your feet when you eat that chili. James Mercer, continued success. Enjoy the holidays with your family, your wife, and your new baby. And
Cool,
and thank you for being a part of the 99X Mistletoe Jam.
Cool. Thank you.
Anything you want to say to your fans in Atlanta?
Hey, we love you. We'll see you next time we come through.